After modeling the basement, we can now create the ground floor. So we will add a new story with this button. And in the basic data tab, we have to write an unique symbol, for example, ground floor. And the ordinate of the story is 0, which is correct for the ground floor. However, the height of 2.6 is not correct, so we have to delete it. And then the program will take automatically from global data 3 meters and 2.7 for internal height, which are correct values. Now we can switch into the plan view tab, and let's import the plan view of the ground floor. And then the program suggests using the 0 point of AutoCAD file to place the drawing in the workspace of the software. As long as the 0 point is in the same position in all the files for all the stories, it would work perfectly. So let's try. To check whether this drawing was placed in the right position, we can use the option draw the previous drawing, in this case previous story. And if we come closer, then we'll realize that it wasn't really completely precise. So we have to move this plan view manually. To do that, we have to select the drawing by clicking the edge of the drawing, and now we can move it with the mouse, but it's even more precise and I think easier using the keyboard. So with the Control key and the arrow keys we can move, and we will see that this drawing was placed precisely over the previous story. And now we can switch this option of drawing the previous drawing off. However, I would suggest keeping it, because with this option another tool is associated. This is the snapping to the previous floor, which will help us a lot. We can just change the level of the gray color that the previous drawing is painted in, or we can even move it to 100%, which means that it will be completely invisible. So it won't disturb us. However, the snapping tool will still work, and I recommend this solution. Now we can model the ground floor in exactly the same way as we created the basement. So let's start with the external walls. So this is this wall. And as you see, if I come close to the corner, the program already snaps. It snaps to the previous drawing, to the previous floor. In this case, it's the basement. So I have to be close enough. I cannot exaggerate, but if I'm more or less here, it will work perfectly. So let's click here. And now we have got this case that here we have the garage, which hasn't got the basement. So here the snapping won't work. So it's good to use this technique that we know. So with the space bar, and now I can click. Here already the snapping tool will help me, and so on, and so on. And as you see, I have created the external walls. I can see it in 3D. In this case, I see it only for the ground floor. I can switch into the mode that would show me the whole building. So as you see now, we can see the ground floor over the basement. And in the same way, I will create then the other elements of the ground floor. This is how the ground floor looks like just before creating the room zone. I will use the second option, creating the room zone around the cursor, because I wish to have the influence on the order of numbering. So I will start numbering from 1 with the step 1, and by default I will create the room of the type room. In other cases like bathroom, kitchen, garage, I will change it manually in the table below the drawing. So that will be the room number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The garage will be 6, and that will be the staircase. Now I can press Ctrl A to select all the rooms to be able to edit their properties in the table beneath. If I go through the table between the rows, the appropriate room zone highlights in the drawing of the plan view. So this is a room, but this is a kitchen, so we'll have it as a kitchen. Then we've got a bathroom, then we will leave a room here, then we've got a hall. For the garage we can use the ancillary room, but in this case we have to write the design internal temperature, so let's write for example 16. And for the staircase we will write here SC, the same symbol as in the basement, in order to glue these separate parts of the staircase together. After creating the ground floor, we can try to import again the 3D model. So let's click this button. No errors, so we can import it. And let's have a look at the tree of the structure of the building. And we can see the results of the import, and we can see it room by room, and it's good to check whether it's okay. However, let's have a look at the staircase. As you see, the staircase has been glued together, the part that is in the basement and in the ground floor. And as you see, we don't draw stairs as such, but as a substitution, we can draw just a normal floor.